World News is back. We now give you the second half of the stories. I'm Randolf Jamias. We start the stories in Australia. 7 men have been charged with manufacturing and trafficking a large quantity of methamphetamine, Victorian police said, as they shut down 2 drug laboratories at separate addresses in Melbourne on Saturday. The men charged are aged between 26 and 44 years old and include Canadians, 1 Vietnamese, 1 from New South Wales, and 3 from South Australia. Police wore protective clothing as they removed equipment and chemicals from the properties. The man charged will appear in court on Monday, according to authorities.
They are extensive, elaborate setups. The first address has probably got a production in the whole house. Every room is set up with a lab brewing.
Heads up for the countries in Southeast Asia. A small crowd of people gathered outside a malaria clinic in Sayok district of Kanchanaburi, Thailand on Friday, a province located roughly 167 kilometers west of Bangkok. They wait to be seen by health workers who busily take blood samples and patients' temperatures to determine their condition. Efforts to control malaria have decreased the number of cases since the year 2000, but in recent years the progress has been threatened by the emergence of a drug-resistant malaria parasites in Southeast Asia. Malaria infects more than 200 million people worldwide every year and kills over 600,000 of them, primarily children under age of 5. Experts say of the most challenging features of this parasite is its ability to evolve and overcome anti-malarial drugs, a factor which is undermining global work towards eradicating the killer disease. Meanwhile, thick fog continues to shroud many parts of China on Saturday morning, disturbing traffic. More than 10 flights were suspended in Beijing, the country's capital, as the airport visibility was less than 300 meters. Several expressways were also closed due to the dense fog starting from Thursday. The fog also lingers in Tianjin, Beijing's neighboring metropolis, though the rain Friday night eased the fog a little bit. The local government said more than 3,000 traffic policemen have been dispatched to direct traffic since Friday. The provinces of Hebei and Liaoning in North China were also shrouded in fog Friday morning, with dozens of expressways closed. The Central Meteorological Station said the fog is caused by the cold air a few days ago. Miracles do happen. This is what happened to a 61-year-old Brazilian woman who spent years trying to get pregnant, gave birth to twins on Monday. Antonia Leticia Asti tried in vitro fertilization in 2002. Failing to conceive, she attempted adoption, but was told she was too old. The new shot at artificial insemination was carried out using embryos from her first attempt, which were frozen 10 years ago. The final result was twins, a baby boy and girl, who are reported to be healthy but are still recovering in hospital. Mrs. Asti said she is the happiest woman in the world. A Spanish woman became the world's oldest mother when she gave birth to twins at age 66 in 2009. And talking about miracles, faith and beliefs are also common in China. Among the millions of streets in the country, there's a very special one over in Lhasa. Even though it looks spectacular or grand from the outside, for many people it's sacred. It's a circular path that draws pilgrims and tourists from all over the world. It's the Bakor Street. Let's have the full story.
In the morning, in front of the Jokan Monastery, smoke from the joss sticks begins to rise, with faithful pilgrims praying peacefully. Here, an old man chants a mantra as he follows the divine road. The Barker Street is a circuit of 1,800 meters around the Jokan Monastery. 1,300 years ago, it was formed as a pilgrimage route for prayer around the Jokhan Monastery. According to Tibetan Buddhism, you must walk in Barker Street in a clockwise direction as you pray to the figure of the Buddha in the temple. For many pilgrims, this is a sacred walk. They are from different places with different families, but they share the same faith, showing their devotion on the path of prayer. There are 120 stores and more than 200 stands on either side of the street. There are religious supplies like prayer wheels, rosary beads, handicrafts like tanka, a traditional art, tapestries, and even products from India and Nepal.
The best seller here is turquoise, which is one of the typical Tibetan products. Many tourists like this the most.
In Barker Street, you don't have to buy anything. Just walk freely in the crowd, enjoying the sunshine. You may see many foreign tourists, which gives you an international and modern image of the street. But the traditional Tibetan buildings constantly remind you that it's Tibet's holiest street, where old and new, traditional and modern exist side by side and integrate harmoniously.
Beautiful city. Tibetan people are really friendly. You like this street? Yeah, very busy, but good. Yeah.
We come to this street every day we are in Lhasa. Besides buying some artificial products, we've seen many faithful pilgrims, and the power of faith is very big.
You may not find another street like Barker Street anywhere in the world. It promotes faith and gathers traders and attracts thousands of pilgrims and tourists from all over the world. It is living history, and at the same time, it is writing a new legend.
We end today's news with another update in a tennis event. Top seed David Ferrer beat fellow Spaniard Nicolas Almagro 6-3, 7-5 on Friday to reach the semi-finals of the Valencia Open 500. He will face Croatia's Ivan Dodig, who defeated compatriot Marin Cilic 6-3, 7-6. Ferrer saved all break points that he faced against Almagro and won the match in 82 minutes. The 30-year-old is hoping to win his 6th ATP World Tour title of the season in Valencia, giving him his 3rd home tournament victory. Ferrer will play in the ATP World Tour Finals in London in November, while Almagro is still hoping to qualify. Almagro, seeded 6th at the indoor hardcourt event, did not manage to win a single game on the Ferrer serve and had his own broken twice as he slipped to a 12th defeat in 12 career meetings with the world number 5. And that completes our stories for today's World News. Local news coming up next. Thanks for the company.